just to have a little word to their players as well. Of course, a lot of new rules for the FIFA World Cup that's upcoming, as we just have a little look at the goal again. So well taken from Schick. Just that little touch on his left foot there around the defender Hernandez, and then just opens up his body and guides it perfectly into that bottom left-hand corner. Yeah, there will be 5-second countdowns for throw-ins and goal kicks. Expanded VAR powers as well, which I'm not sure will necessarily go down too well everywhere. And some confusing rules as well. VAR can actually now review corner kicks that have been incorrectly given. As the free kick is played in, it's a really good ball as well. Only as far as the edge of the penalty area. Is a decent strike back in, but too many bodies in the way. He's lost it in a dangerous area here. Souček. Excellent challenge. And it needed to be made from Morales. Otherwise, Guatemala are in trouble there. That's a good ball down that left-hand side. The delivery in has taken a big deflection and a good header away as well. Mendes done well once more. As the 20-year-old, he's pretty isolated up there, but every time he gets it, he's held it up nicely and waited for support. Cuts on to his left foot, back onto his right, takes a big deflection. And it's a decent save in the end from Kovar. But they are posing a threat when they come forward, Guatemala, there's no doubt about that. A few times they've had Czechia running scared. Did take a little deflection actually off Krejci. Vladislav Krejci, who was playing for Wolverhampton Wanderers last season, but it was only on loan, so he'll be heading back to Girona. It's been pretty physical, this game. A lot of the time these warm-up games to a big World Cup can be a little timid, a little passive. Obviously players just desperately trying to avoid injury for the World Cup just around the corner, but this has been played at a good pace. There's Mendes again, who does well. Look for the ball over the top, just didn't have enough on it. Committing plenty of bodies forward though, Guatemala, when they do get the ball, and that's stolen away nicely from Rosales. Rosales, who has probably had the best opportunity for Guatemala, and well, Czechia were very nearly the architects of their own downfall there. Danger still not clear. Rosales. Santis shoots, but it was a tame effort. They are happy to play out from the back, Czechia, but a lot of the time they will then choose to go long from the defender. Good ball over the top. I think he was just offside. Yeah, he was. Looked as though he just mistimed his run ever so slightly. So just under 15 minutes to go in this first half. I imagine we will see plenty of substitutions. Miroslav Kubek using his entire squad pretty much in the last week or so. That game that they played against Kosovo just 6 or 7 days ago. 8 changes from that one coming into today. Soufal, perfect first touch. Yeah, and Soufal cannot believe that he's been called on the free kick there. Did look like he fell to ground reasonably easily there. Morales, let's have another little look. Won the ball well initially, and then, I mean, yeah, I didn't see a single bit of contact there from Soufal. I can kind of understand why he's a little aggrieved by that call. So I think this one is going to go long. I feel as though the long throw is very much back in fashion these days. A bad ball over the top, but well dealt with by Krejci. Oh, it's a great turn. And draws the foul from Franco. Haven't seen too much of Provod. Haven't actually seen too much of Schick either, other than that fabulous goal that he scored. Here is Schultz. 2 or 3 inside the penalty area. Provod. Did well to get there first, wanted it played down the line, but Coufal cuts back inside and a left-footed ball in. Far too close to the goalkeeper, who again is urged on by the fans here to kick it quickly and kick it long. Two-time World Cup runners-up, Czechia. You've got to go back a fair few years, mind you. 1962, the last time they actually made the final of the World Cup. Also did so in 1934 as well. This will be their 10th World Cup appearance coming up. Coufal down the line to Provod. It will be another throw-in and presumably another long one. Although Coufal decides to very cheekily take it quickly off the back of Provod. A bit of time here for Sadlek, who goes over to the left-hand side to probe down there this time, but didn't have anyone in front of him. Look at the space here for Coufal. Coufal's ball in is a decent one to Souček, but the shot is straight at Moran. Pretty tight angle to try and squeeze one in there. May have just been better standing that ball up towards the far post. Good tackle from Souček, but the loose ball finds its way to Mendes. A long ball over the top will roll all the way through to the goalkeeper. So just over 5 minutes to go in this first half. Czechia 1, Guatemala 0. The goal coming from, no surprise, Patrick Schick. A 26th Czechia goal for him. It's Provod. At about 65% of possession today, Czechia. Would have expected that, maybe even more actually coming into this match. Again, a lot of space for Coufal here. Good ball as well to the far post. It was a well-struck volley as well, but just too many bodies in the way. I feel as though Guatemala need to get a little tighter to Vladimir Coufal, though. He seems to have acres of space down this right-hand side. His last 2 deliveries have both found a red shirt. Souček, who got the shot away from a tight angle, and then the volley that we've just seen. It wasn't the easiest ball to deal with, though, and it's a complete mix-up between the goalkeeper and the defender, and the strike is in, and Guatemala have their equaliser. And it is William Fajardo who scored it. It is not one that Czechia will want to see again. A complete mix-up between the goalkeeper and the defender. And they have been duly punished. It's a decent ball over the top. It was Krejci who initially didn't deal with it. And then the goalkeeper, well, that could have quite easily been a free kick on the edge of the penalty area. Chalupek went barging into the striker. And he still had plenty of work to do here, Fajardo. There was a couple of red shirts lurking by the goal line. And he's done brilliantly to squeeze that one in. And just a few minutes before the half-time whistle, Guatemala a level. So the big crowd that have come out to support Guatemala have been rewarded for their efforts. Although Czechia looking to bounce straight back, and it was Schultz who rose highest. Good flick on, and look how exposed Czechia were again there. A little fortunate that wasn't able to pick up that loose ball. Still more than happy to play out from the back. Guatemala back themselves in tight situations. I think Provod is saying that the throw-in should have been taken a fair way back there. He's given it away here, although the free kick has been awarded to Guatemala. Decide to take the free kick quickly, and well, again, it's that combination of Chalupek and Kovar. It's their coming together that led to the Guatemala equaliser. Bodies going everywhere. Not for the first time today. It's Jose Morales who finds himself on the floor. Socek. All the way through to Sofal. It's a good block. Not sure whether the effort was actually on target or not from Sofal. Continues to find himself in plenty of space down that right-hand side. So the 45 minutes is up. We're going to have 3 minutes of additional time. I think Guatemala have handled themselves very well in this opening half, considering the last time that they played, they lost by 7-0 to Algeria. So can't imagine confidence was particularly high coming into this one. Socek. So far looking for the overlap. Goes down inside the penalty area, but no real protest. So maybe time for one final chance in this first half. It might actually go the way of Czechia. Here comes Provod. Let's have Soufal behind him, deciding to go by himself, and the throw-in is awarded to Czechia, and you'd imagine this is going to be long, considering we only have 40 seconds or so left of this first half. So Soufal lining one up. It's a good throw as well, right at the goalkeeper. Provod back to Soufal. Soufal's delivery is cleared away. He could have actually left that for the goalkeeper, decided to take matters into his own hands. Soufal again towards the far post. Well, got up highest, but just couldn't quite control the header, Thomas Soucek. And that should be that for the first half. So the half-time whistle is blown. It was Czechia who struck first. 11 minutes into the game, Patrick Schick on the counter-attack, a beautiful move onto his left foot and just bent the ball into the bottom left-hand corner of the net. But just 4 minutes before the half-time whistle, a bit of a miscommunication between Mataj Kovarin, the Czechia goal, and Stepan Chelupek, the defender. And the loose ball found its way to William Fajardo, who knocked it into the bottom right-hand corner to bring Guatemala level. Been a competitive and physical opening 45 minutes here. It's been good to watch. Good crowd in as well, creating a decent atmosphere here in New Jersey. And the players will head into the half-time break. I'd imagine we'll get plenty of substitutions throughout the course of the second half. But at half-time, here it is. Czechia 1, Guatemala 1. Welcome to the Belmont State. So welcome back everyone to the Sports Illustrated Stadium here in Harrison, New Jersey. It is a friendly international between Czechia and Guatemala, and it is finally poised at the moment at the halfway stage. Czechia took the lead reasonably early on, just 11 minutes on the clock, when Patrick Schick bended in a beautiful left-footed strike from the edge of the penalty area. But just 4 or 5 minutes before the half-time whistle was blown, William Fajardo levelled things up. A bit of a miscommunication between Kovar and Chalupek at the back, and Fajardo punished them. So 1-1, and as we thought might happen, a whole host of changes for Czechia at the half-time break. So we've seen Chalupek, Solt, Schick and Krejci all make way. And just confirmation going through at the bottom of your screen there. So Vladimir Darida is on for Sadilek. Although I actually had Sadilek was still on, but we'll confirm that. Adam Klozek is on for Pavel Solt. So Ladislav Krejci is off, the captain. He's been replaced by Jaroslav Zeleny. And Stefan Chalupek is definitely off. He's been replaced by Thomas Holesh. And just getting confirmation it was Sadilek who's gone off rather than Patrick Schick. So Schick is still on the field, the goal scorer for Czechia. So Miroslav Kubek just trying to use all of his squad and give everyone some minutes before the World Cup does get underway. Less than a week to go now. Well, Czechia saw plenty of the ball in that first half. But you wouldn't necessarily say that Luis Moran in the Guatemala goal had to do a huge amount. A lot of possession without necessarily creating too many clear-cut chances for Czechia. There's the substitute Zeleny. It's well worked. Decent delivery as well, comes all the way through, and the effort is just over the crossbar. Wasn't easy, came at him quickly there. Patrick Schick scored a beauty on his left foot, just couldn't quite match that on his right foot. But a good promising early start to this second half for Czechia. Guatemala actually wanted a free kick. It would have been interesting to